Praise the Lord. Okay guys, this is the first time I've done 2 videos in one day, but I have my son this weekend, and so it's been movie day, and well, I was flipping through the channels and here comes an old movie that I'd seen a few years back, and I started watching it. It was in a particular scene. It involves Justin Timberlake, and it's called In Time. Now, the last movie we were talking about, Killing Them Softly, was based on the robbery of a card game. This movie, when I turned it on, was in the middle of the card game. So let's get into I Pet Goat real quick. When it comes out and you see Psalm 23, well, if you look at the 23 real quick, the lightning bolt is a 7 starting at the 23. Now, 23 represents 2 things. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 2 times 3 is 6. So, 7, 5, 7, 6. And let me establish what I mean. In the card game scene in Time with Justin Timberlake, the scene opens with 7, King, 5. So the King will go down on the 5th, and then the next 2 cards is Queen will rise on the 6th. So, back to Obama. If you were to have a female president of the United States, the best way to do it is through the process of, what do they call it, designated survivor. So if the president goes down, the vice president becomes president. So if Obama is in fact sacrificed, his queen, and Michael is a queen in 2 ways. Satan loves double, triple meetings. So, and I wouldn't call him Michael if Barack didn't call him Michael, and his mother didn't, in his will, leave all of her stuff to her only son Michael. So, don't get mad at me. It was her husband or his husband and his mother that told me his name was Michael, as opposed to Michelle. Anyway, I digress. So the Queen on the 6th elevates to head of household, if you will. So, that being said, in that scenario, if Joe Biden were to select Mike Obama for his running mate, that martyrdom that she would inherit from the sacrifice of the husband, he's a shoo-in for president. And then him being, without all of his senses, if you will, if he was to win the presidency, of course, they could easily say, well, he is no longer competent to run the country, and thusly, the Queen is now president. And so, the feminine is now established, which is what this is all pointing to. So, in that scenario, so, to give me some courage to, speak about all this stuff, because I have to have it. Wow. God brings me to verses and chapters that establish the courage that I need. So, where does he bring me? He brings me to Psalm 105, and we're going to start in verse 23, of course. And so, Psalm 105, verse 23, Israel came also into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And he increased his people greatly, and made them stronger than their enemies. And he turned their heart to hate his people, and deal subtly with his servants. He sent Moses his servant, and Aaron whom he chose. They showed his signs among them, and wonders in the land of Ham. And he sent darkness and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word. So, what this tells me is, Psalm 105 is about the process that God took the Jewish or the Israel people through to establish them in their land, or the land that he had designated them for. So as all of this happens, just understand that God is in control, and all of this will be ultimately to exhibit his power over this world. And Satan, once again, as usual, just is a loser in every situation. So, these are things that I hope I'm wrong in, but it keeps coming in such a fashion and and just keeps getting shown to me as God lets me see things, that though I hope I'm wrong, and it may not happen July 5th, 6th, but it is going, these are things that are very much possibilities that they might be established to exhibit God's power. And ultimately we win through Jesus Christ. So God bless you guys. Man, I hope I'm wrong. God bless. Bye-bye.